MatPat is someone with the experience and knowledge who I feel like should be able to stay out of most controversy that he is at fault. I mean, hell, he's smart enough that he scored a perfect 1600 on the SAT. That's not easy. But somehow he always finds himself in controversy, sometimes unwarranted, like with all the stuff with Undertale or smaller things, but a lot of the time he is at fault. And this is no exception. Now, if you aren't aware, or you're a child or something, and you don't know who MatPat is, actually most children would know who MatPat is. I'll explain. MatPat is a YouTube creator who owns and runs the channel The Game Theorists, along with Film Theorists, Food Theorists, and GT Live. All his channels have over 33 million subscribers combined, so he isn't small by any means. But why am I talking about him today? He sounds great, really. Family friendly, he makes content for kids, he's popular, and he involves science and math in his videos. That sounds great, really. But his most recent controversy is something would never be an issue. Now, MatPat's drama involves his newest FNAF theory. He's talking about how FNAF came out with a new book and it confused him on the lore and the theories and all that stuff. And at the end, he proposes a theory that FNAF is creating an ARG, which stands for alternate reality game, basically saying that the creators of FNAF are trying to incorporate the real world with the game. And he uses Gravity Falls as an example as a property that used an ARG to really just boost speculation and hype for the show. So MatPat pushes that the new books must be hinting at an ARG, specifically in Utah. And he told his viewers, if you live in Ohio or you know anything, please put it in our subreddit. I'll show you the clip right here.
Here I am again at the end of my tether asking you for help once more. It seems like something's here, but if it is, I can't figure it out on my own. Maybe you're a theorist from Utah and you know the locations I'm talking about. Maybe you do know how to break open the files of a mobile game. Maybe you're as obsessed with this franchise as I am and you too have the coloring book and you notice something on those pages that I don't. We haven't let FNAF beat us yet and we're sure as heck not gonna let it happen today. If you think you've gotten yourself some answers or maybe just another lead, head on over to the Game Theorist subreddit to post your findings. I'm gonna be keeping a very close eye on this one because, like you, I want to see this franchise solved. Link is down in the description below to check out the Game Theorist subreddit.
So with this level of a call out that almost seems like a call to action for anyone in Utah or anyone who has access to the internet to try to find locations in Utah that could match up with the situations in the book to post their findings to the subreddit, it seems somewhat neglectful of the audience that MatPat has. I'll show you a clip of him talking about specific locations in Utah that it could be, which ultimately led to people searching for those and harassing people from those areas.
The weirdest thing about this one is that it contains a lot of specific details as to where the events of the story take place. 33 Fazbear Frights in, and no other story in the franchise features this level of detail. The cities, the street names, file names, locations of buildings, details that are seemingly inconsequential to the greater story and in pretty much every other book would be skimmed over or kept vague. When Mandy finds this mysterious image in the game files, she traces it back to Utah. Yes, the actual US state. This fact is further solidified when Mandy's mom takes her on a business trip to Cedar City, a real city in Utah, to complete the investigation. Now this is where the trail starts to go cold, because what Mandy's looking for is an old cinema on Willowfield Road in Peace Valley, which after a lot of Google searches I can tell you just doesn't exist, at least not in Utah. However, in the story we do learn that Peace Valley is only 15 minutes on highway from Cedar City, so I looked up where you can drive to in 15 minutes from the center of Cedar City, and it turns out there's a very small town just to the south called Canaraville. So I hopped onto Google Street View to check out other details that the book mentioned, like the old cinema, which used to be a pizzeria, as well as having a post office on the corner. Unfortunately, neither of these things seem to exist in Canaraville. They do have a post office, and it's near a corner, but it's more like the middle of the street.
Now, the problem with this should be very obvious, but if it's not, let me try to explain to you. Talking about anything revolving real-life locations and trying to tie it back to something that has a very passionate fan base that probably does not understand the social ramifications of this, and with a community mostly filled up with children, is obviously going to either cause harm to business owners or normal people who live in said location, or if you call your fans to try to go explore somewhere in their city or town, there's a chance that they could get hurt. It's just never a good idea. So after this video is posted, Twitter made sure to tell MatPat exactly how they felt. They got MatPat trending, and there's floods of people talking shit and saying that, rightfully so, it wasn't okay for him to do that. I'm surprised that this was ever a thing that came out, because this isn't the first time that the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom has had something revolving around this happen. There was a rumor that there was a pizza shop that was tied into the Five Nights at Freddy's lore, and when people found out the phone number, they spam called them until they had to make a public statement and get Scott Coffin, the creator, to publicly denounce and say that they're never going to do something like that. So it would be asinine for something like that to happen, them say that nothing like that's ever going to happen again, and then walk it back just for an ARG that has zero evidence at all. I seriously don't think MatPat thought this through, and I have my own game theories as to why he included this bit, but I'm going to save those near the end because those are more speculation, less definitive fact that I could prove with anything. But after the shitstorm on Twitter, MatPat realized it and he made a video titled "Stop the ARG Hunt." And in this video, he apologizes, tells people to stop, and says that there is no ARG hunt. And with this video coming out, MatPat was trending again on Twitter, but most people forgave him. I'm glad that he acknowledged it and responded quickly and told his fan base to stop. I had my suspicions that MatPat was going to apologize and this entire thing was just going to get swept under the rug. So what I was more curious about was what damage has already been done and what did his fan base do on their subreddit. If you take a look at the Game Theorists subreddit, majority of it, when the video came out, was filled with "the ARG's not real, do not do this," which I think is actually very great and mature for an audience, especially of the size of the Game Theorists. I genuinely give props to all the people that were making posts and trying to inform people that this is not a thing that you need to research and look into. But while there's majority of the subreddit filled with these people trying to stop any harassment that could come, there were some pockets of it still had people doing some weird shit. People still posting that the ARG is real, we found this location, etc, etc. I had even heard, but I do not have the screenshot, of someone who found a shop or a pizza shop or something near the location that MatPat said in Utah, and they spam called them and harassed them until they had to disable their phone lines. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's just what I've heard. But you know, who cares about all this stuff with facts and proof? It's time for some good old luckless game theories as to why I think pushes ARG so hard. While researching, there's a lot of people that stated that the ARG theory for FNAF had no evidence and it was flimsy at best, and there was no reason for him to make this video. And I'm not an expert on FNAF. I think somewhat interesting. I watched it when I was like 12, but I'm not an expert, so I'm gonna just take their word. So I have two theories as to why he pushes ARG so hard. One of them is a little bit nicer and give more credit to MatPat. The other one, I'm just kind of being an asshole. So my nicest theory is that since MatPat's newest merch has an ARG involved in it, the entire thing is a mystery, it has ARGs, it's quite interesting for YouTuber merch. He must have gotten ARG stuck in his head and just tied the newest FNAF thing to it without even realizing that it didn't have much ground. It doesn't make it right, but it's a little bit more understandable. My second theory, though, the one I like more, is that MatPat wanted to push the idea of ARGs on his fans more so they get more interested in his merch. He knew that he could have just apologized later on if the ARG wasn't true, but his fans would have loved the idea of an ARG, purchased his merch, and then gotten involved in it. Again, I don't even know if this is true. I'm not a psychologist. I don't have one of those lie detectors. I'm an idiot. So anyways, that's all for me today. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think MatPat's in the wrong? Do you forgive him from his apology or anything else in between? Please just let me know your opinions. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to follow the Twitter and the TikTok. I'm uploading on TikTok. Links are in the description. Hey, I'm on my second day of posting gang shit. Fuck. All right, I'll see you later. Peace.
Simultaneously whipped and nay-nay!